In the last chapter, we discussed how to create a general object. But how do we create a typed object? If you already know another object-oriented language like Java or C#, you would have seen that the way to create typed objects is from a class, which acts as a custom type. And we write a class as something shown here, right? A class usually has member variables and member methods. And these member methods can be called on an object created from this class. These kind of object-oriented languages are said to have class-based object orientation. And here we cannot create objects without having a class of that object. But you have already seen that in JavaScript there is no need to create classes for creating objects, and that objects are very similar to a dictionary-like data structure. And because functions are also like objects, an object can use a function as a value of some of its properties like this. Note that the use of this keyword in the function body. We'll discuss it in detail in the next lecture, but in case you are writing this code on your own, don't forget the this keyword, otherwise you will get an error. But this object is a general object. I mean, how do we create our custom types in JavaScript? For example, how do we create a circle type? Well, we have been creating some objects like strings and numbers, isn't it? I mean, we can use a primitive literal number like 4, or we can create an object from this number like so. Again, let's check the type of variable x, and it's a number. We could have created a new number object by using the new keyword like this. And if you check the type of y, it's an object. But because this object is created from a number, it behaves like 1. So you can add and subtract it just like another number. Anyways, so what is this number? Let's type in and see. Well, it's a function. Similarly, if you type string, it's another function. Like I said, in JavaScript, there's a very thin line between objects and functions, and objects of specific types can be created from functions using the new keyword. But before that, it is important to understand the this keyword in JavaScript, which is probably the most misunderstood concept, although not very difficult. So let's do that in the next lecture.